There's a strange thing about people who suffered deeply as children. They're often the strongest person in the room, but also the quietest. They don't talk much about what they went through. They don't dramatize it. Sometimes they don't even call it trauma. But if you watch closely, their behavior tells a story words never could. Honestly, if you grew up too fast, if you learned to read moods before you learned to read books, if you became mature way earlier than you should have, this video is about you, and more importantly, why you are the way you are. 1. Their brain was built for danger, not comfort. When a child grows up with constant chaos, neglect, or emotional unpredictability, their brain adapts. Psychologists call this toxic stress. Not stress that teaches resilience, but stress with no relief. The brain stays in alarm mode, always scanning, always preparing. So as adults, these people are hyper-aware. They read tone shifts instantly. They notice what others miss. But the cost is heavy. Calm doesn't feel safe. Silence doesn't feel peaceful. Their body is still waiting for something bad to happen. What looks like anxiety is actually a system that never learned it was allowed to rest. 2. Survival skills became personality traits. Children don't have power. They can't leave. They can't fight back, so they adapt. Some become the peacekeeper, managing everyone's emotions. Some become invisible, staying quiet to stay safe. Some become hyper-competent, believing usefulness equals security. These strategies worked. They reduced harm. They kept the child safer. But adulthood is different. Now, those same skills turn into chronic people-pleasing, emotional disconnection, exhausting self-reliance. What saved them as a child slowly drains them as an adult. 3. Shame becomes the hidden core. Here's the part many people miss. Children can't understand abuse or neglect as circumstance. Their brain isn't developed enough, so they make it personal. If this keeps happening, it must be me. That belief hardens into shame. Not I did something wrong, but I am something wrong. Shame doesn't motivate growth. It erodes identity. And it follows people into adulthood as perfectionism, fear of criticism, and feeling fundamentally unlovable. They don't hate themselves. They were taught silently to doubt themselves. For calm feels suspicious, not safe. Many people who endured a lot feel uneasy when life is stable, because stability wasn't normal. Unpredictability was, so their body stays alert even when nothing is wrong. They replay conversations, overanalyze small mistakes, brace for loss during good moments. This is why rest feels restless, why compliments don't land, why criticism sticks for days. Because their nervous system hasn't updated the software, it's still running childhood rules. 5. This doesn't mean you're broken. Research on adverse childhood experiences shows clear patterns. Hard childhoods increase the risk of mental and physical struggles later. But here's the part that matters most. The brain is adaptable for life. These patterns aren't destiny. They're learned responses. And anything learned can be unlearned with awareness, support, and time. If you endured a lot in childhood, you didn't fail at anything. You adapted brilliantly to an unfair situation. You survived using the tools you had. But you don't have to live in survival mode forever. That child did their job. Now the adult gets to take over. And learning how to feel safe, really safe, might be the hardest and most important work you ever do.